This is what the eastern part of Manshiya Bridge looks like after battles between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces. One of the major bridges in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, it was under RSF control, giving them access to East Nile, one of the capital's largest suburbs. It was recently recaptured by the Sudanese army. East Nile was one of Khartoum's most heavily populated areas. Many of its residents fled when it came under RSF control. This once bustling market now has little to offer to those who remained.
When the army came here, I celebrated their arrival. It was like being in the dark and coming to light. The RSF used to climb walls and enter homes. They stole tea, flour, sugar, and even salt. They left us with nothing.
This was once the area's main hospital. It was destroyed in the early days of the fighting, which began in April 2023. It's left people struggling to get access to medical care, with only one smaller hospital left to serve the whole of East Nile. Halima's mother has been sick for months, but she was only recently able to bring her to the hospital.
My mother got sick 8 months ago. She's old and fragile, but we couldn't bring her to the hospital when the RSF were around. They would stop vehicles and loot them, steal any little money people carried. So we stayed at home just trying to survive. No thanks to God, I now brought her to the hospital.
Doctors here say keeping the only hospital operational has been a challenge.
We work to provide patients with what we can, but sometimes we had shortages of supplies. We would send people out to get supplies from other localities, even other states, putting their lives at risk just so the hospital does not shut down. The RSF would raid the hospital and detain workers, but we stayed and continued working.
Most of the hospital workers are volunteers from what's known as the Emergency Response Rooms, or ERRs. Members of the group say their role goes beyond providing medical assistance.
We helped secure food for those who have stayed behind when there were shortages. We supplied families with water when they couldn't go out. We also helped with the evacuation of those who wanted to leave. We do that because this is our home, our country, and our people needed someone to step up and ensure that lives are not lost.
The army may be back in control of East Nile, but its recovery will take time. People here say they hope both the government and the ERRs can repair the damage so that the thousands who left can soon return to their normal lives. Hiba Morgan, Al Jazeera, East Nile.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.